All right, so welcome back. We are on day 12. It is our pull day, and I actually changed up my routine last night slash this morning after doing a bit of research, and I found out it was more optimal for me to like structure my workout. So in the first 3 days, I'm focusing on strength training, and then the last 4 days is focused on hypertrophy. So if y'all are interested in what my new routine is, I'm going to put it in the description below so y'all can follow it and possibly try it out yourselves. But we're going to get back into the pull-ups. Got 3 more sets. So I have been running a standard push-pull leg split for about a month now, and it's been solid. I definitely made some real progress. I've definitely gotten stronger and built some muscle, but I noticed that I was doing it wrong, at least wrong for what I was trying to achieve. And so when I started paying a little bit more attention to how my body was responding, and I just realized that it was just time to kind of hone down on what I believed to be true, I guess the knowledge that I had at the time, and refocus and change because what I was training for wasn't really exactly what I was trying to achieve. So I'm switching to a more structured plan that hits each muscle group twice a week. So that doesn't really change too much as far as what I've been doing. But what will change is the fact that I'll go from the first half of the week focusing on strength, and then the second half of the week, I'll be focusing on hypertrophy exercises. And the reason why I'm going for this change is just progression. And overall, my goal is at the end of the day, hypertrophy and building aesthetic muscles. I do want the functionality of being able to lift heavy, but aesthetics is really what I'm going for. I want to fill out a shirt. I want my quads to be more defined. I want my calves to look like I train calves. And yeah, I want biceps. I have barely been focusing on biceps because it's just been a weak point since I've been intentionally focusing on triceps. So when it comes to my quads, my shoulders, it could just obviously just get a lot better. And there are obviously some other areas, but those are kind of my main focuses. And a standard PPL is great when done correctly and optimizing for what you're trying to achieve. And the way that I was training, like I said, was all strength based. And the reason for that was I just didn't realize that's what I was doing until I started calculating in my brain last night. And I said, wait a minute, I've been doing this wrong. I've been doing this all wrong. Basically, I met this guy at this climbing gym the other day when I was doing my rest and recovery, and he had huge muscles. I mean, like the size of my head. They probably were like the size of my torso, and he was just climbing so, I guess, like with so much strength, and he had so much mobility. So I just went over to him. I said, "Hey, can I like ask you a couple questions? Like, what's your name? Nice to meet you." His name was Hayden. Probably not going to find this video, but if you are watching this video, please put your name in the comments or your Instagram handle in the comments. I should have asked for your Instagram that day, but I completely spaced. I was looking at your arms. I was just astonished. But I asked him, what do you do for your workouts? He said he mostly did hit training. And I said, whoa, that's wild. Also hypertrophy focused. That part's not that wild. But when I asked how long he's been training for, he said that he's been basically he's been working out for about 11 years, but training for 8. And it shows. I don't know if he's natural or not. Obviously, I wasn't going to ask that. But regardless of the fact, his muscles were huge. He looked incredible. Obviously, as a bodybuilder, natty or not, he just looked great. And then it got me thinking, what am I doing in order to make sure that I'm achieving my goals? And that's when I started diving into my plan and realized that my plan was only focusing solely on strength. I mean, I said that 3 times, but it's just like so wild to me that I just completely spaced out on that. So yeah, PPL is great when done correctly and optimizing for what you're looking for, because a PPL can often lean towards pure bodybuilding or pure strength, which was my issue. I was leaning pure strength training.
And I definitely want a balance of both. But if I can't have both, I would pick hypertrophy over everything. My whole thing is aesthetics. So strength is functional and everything, and it's great. It's just not exactly what I'm excited for or looking to achieve in this current time. So, what my new split is going to look like is, like I said, the first half of the week will be strength focused. So, push day will stay the same, low reps, heavier weights, focusing on compound lifts like dumbbells, dumbbell press, and dips. Pull day 2 will be weighted pull ups, heavy rows, targeting rear delt work. My leg day 3 will be quad dominant. So I'll be prioritizing leg press, Bulgarian split squats, and leg curls. And my day 4 push day is when we start going towards hypertrophy for the rest of the week. It'll be more volume, lighter weights, isolation exercises for shoulders, chest, and triceps. My pull day 5 will be focused on lat pull downs, high rep rows, and biceps. And then my leg day 6 will be hamstring glute focus, so more reps. Think Romanian deadlifts and glute dominant movements, which might alternate because I don't know if you notice in some of these videos, but my butt is, I don't need to do glute dominant movements too much. It's already sometimes an issue trying to get into pants, and I'm not trying to get like baby back. Like, I'm just not trying to do all that unless my butt will get smaller. That's the only reason why I'm going to be focusing on glute dominant movements. So for the first, I think 2 months, I'm going to be focusing on these glute exercises. And if I notice there's a change, then I will keep that up. But if I'm noticing there's a change in the direction that I'm not trying to get, which is like a bigger butt, then I'm going to end up swapping those out for more quad exercises just so I can hit quads just like as much as possible. And I might even throw some calf stuff because I want to make sure that I'm optimizing for all the areas that are like my problem areas. Then we got our day 7, which is just active recovery, think mobility, stretching, and like cardio. And basically any like recreational work I like to do. So like biking, running every once in a while, like light, easy runs, even climbing, or just if I feel up for it, I might end up just throwing another workout in this area and just focusing even heavily on any of my problem areas or areas that I want to focus more like deeply in. So why do it this way? There's 3 reasons. More frequent muscle stimulation. So I'll be hitting each muscle twice a week. That doesn't change. But this obviously leads to just better growth than just doing once a week. Then reason number 2, balance, strength, and size. For the first half of the week, I'm building raw strength. And then the second half of the week, I'm just maximizing hypertrophy, which is my goal. So it could be, after I give this new routine a shot, I might end up realizing, hey, I don't really want to focus 3 days on strength. I don't know exactly how other people do it, but maybe I'm wanting to do hypertrophy a little bit more intensely. Maybe I want to do it 4 times. Maybe I want to do 5 times. Maybe I want to do all 6. Who knows? But in order for me to figure that out, I need to be able to like have evidence to prove. So that's also why I'm giving this whole routine a shot. And then reason number 3, having a balance is going to prevent injury and maximize recovery. The mix of heavier and lighter session gives my joints a break while still pushing progression. And that's really all that I'm here for. So at the end of the day, this change is really all about optimizing my training. And my goal is to build a well balanced, strong physique. And I want to achieve not only an aesthetic build, but I also want my body to be functional and, work on mobility, which I really haven't been. And I think just taking this a little bit more seriously, I already take my nutrition very seriously, but it's just really getting down to the fine details and making sure I'm doing as much as possible to make sure that I'm maximizing all my efforts in the gym. Because these sessions are not short. Sometimes I'm in the gym for almost 2 hours. And yeah, some of that is 3 minute rest between sets. And sometimes it's just because, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know yet. Sometimes I'm just like, whoa, the whole day passed. I've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. And I've just been on top of it. Obviously, moving the cameras, having to do certain different shots and optimizing for content creation might play into why it's taking a little bit longer, but it can't be that much. But that being said, I will be tracking my progress over the next few months. So stay tuned and let me know what you're doing for your routine. Are you running a PPL? Are you doing full body? Are you doing upper lower? Let me know how it's working for you in the comments, because most of the reason why I'm deciding to change this up is to understand how my body will respond. But I'm also interested in what other people are doing, and I'm also interested in hearing about what other people are doing, because it might end up helping and influencing my training. So definitely leave a comment what you're up to and if it's working for you. But enough of this. Let's just focus on these reps. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
All right. That was a good one. I didn't really notice too many changes in my workout or my routine or anything like that, but just gonna do a quick finisher. At home, walk my dog, eat, take a nap, and get ready for the day. Tomorrow, I'm officially gonna start waking up a lot earlier, which means I have to go to bed basically at like 7 or 8-ish. The latest like 8:30. But enough yappa yappa. Let's finish it up here so I can get some food. All right, I'm done.